The following is produced by 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content and is sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but the chemicals used in photographic processes account for 40 to 60% of all toxic waste. When you think about it, 1,000 words might be a whole lot easier on the earth. Hi, I'm Corey James, and this is Today's Environment, where we examine the innovation, inspiration, and perspiration involved in the effort to preserve the planet. It's over before it starts. That describes the short life cycle of many products that get pulled before they're chosen. Just because they're no longer for sale doesn't mean that they're worthless. This next segment explores one way to turn a finished product back into raw materials.
New and improved. Those words can make a marketer's heart flutter and a waste manager's shudder. You see, product improvements, design changes, expiration dates, and returns can force perfectly good merchandise off the shelf and into the waste stream. When this happens to aerosol products, they must be handled as hazardous waste, and all too often, valuable resources go up in smoke. But many environmentally and cost-conscious producers prefer another alternative. They send their returns through an inspection and reclaim process at Recycle Incorporated. If the product can't be remarketed, it gets recycled. This machine can recover 100% of an aerosol product for recycling. That includes the steel can, the plastic cap, and especially the product and propellant. In this system, an employee removes the cap and loads the containers into the recovery machine. A 2-stage piston lowers the cans onto a vacuum plate where they're sealed and punctured so the contents can't be evacuated. The liquid propellant under pressure in the can turns to a gas when evacuated. A vacuum pulls the vapors into a surge tank and the system compresses them back into a liquid for easy storage and shipment to a manufacturer for reuse. The actual product ingredients get channeled off and stored in drums or bulk storage. They go back to the original manufacturer or get reused in another product or process. The compressed cans become scrap steel used to make new steel. And all plastic caps are ground and sent to a plastics recycler. The cases of cans in this warehouse could have been burned in a hazardous waste incinerator, but because of this innovative aerosol recovery and recycling process, tons of potential waste can be completely reclaimed, recovered, recycled, and reused in new products. Nothing remains for the landfills or incinerators. Manufacturers who choose to recycle their returns, line rejects, or expired products help eliminate an enormous stream of waste from our environment and also help themselves in the process. The cost for Recycle Incorporated to recover and recycle these products can be far less than the cost to destroy them. Aerosol technology offers us a very efficient way to dispense an ingredient. And now, when the product and package need to be dispensed with, they can be recovered and recycled. The quest to increase sales volume all too often translates to huge volumes of waste, but now a new technology could inspire aerosol makers to turn that waste into a resource and help them introduce an environmental practice that's truly new and improved.
Consider the fact that 1 in 4 pharmaceutical drugs is derived from plants found in a tropical rainforest. That means right now the potential cure for cancer may be face to face with a bulldozer. Saving our rainforest isn't a distant issue. Your life may depend on it. Get involved with Today's Environment today.
It's got to end somewhere. Non-renewable energy sources will eventually run out. But if we can expand the limits of our technology, we can tap the renewable clean energy sources that are virtually limitless. Let's watch. You know, the Earth is a very cool place, especially when you realize how hot it is. Now, as you journey towards the center of the Earth, the temperature steadily rises until it hits twice the boiling point of iron.
The clean energy potential of that heat could sustain our growing demand for electric power until the end of time. But efficiently tapping that heat source poses a real challenge to today's scientists and engineers. These wells at the Los Alamos National Lab represent one technology that may be converting the geothermal energy from hot, dry rock deep in the earth into electrical power before the next century. Here's how it works. First, a well is drilled down to the hot, dry rock about 3 to 7 kilometers deep. Then water gets pumped down the hole at high pressure, opening and flowing into the cracks and crevices of the hot rock. This creates a high-pressure reservoir of superheated water. Seismic information can identify where the actual reservoir is forming, and then another well is drilled to extract the superheated water. A heat exchanger transfers the heat from the water to a working fluid whose vapor then powers an electric turbine. Applied pressure prevents the water from vaporizing even though it is heated well above the boiling point. In this demonstration project, the water reaches the surface at 180 degrees centigrade. Much of this technology comes from techniques used in the oil industry. This map shows the geothermal gradients across the United States. The geothermal gradient is the rate at which the temperature rises as you dig deeper. Areas with high geothermal gradients make good prospects for this heat mining because hotter temperatures can be reached at shallower depths. And the depth of the well can affect the economics of the electrical power generation and the temperature of the water being extracted. In this test well, the reservoir is located about 3.5 kilometers down, and during the journey to the Earth's surface, the water temperature cools from 230 degrees to 180 degrees centigrade. The hotter the fluid, the more efficient the conversion to electrical power. Over time, the water will cool down the hot rock, and a new well must be drilled. However, the natural heat of the Earth will eventually reheat the original area so it can be used again. The sun and the earth offer us an infinite supply of energy that humanity could never consume.
The race is on, however, to develop techniques that can tap this clean energy before our current sources consume the planet.
In a moment, on Today's Environment, the newest attack on soil contamination, plus air quality you can smell, next.
That smells great. Unfortunately, in today's environment, the stench of garbage, industrial processes, exhausts, and other pollutants often foul our air. But this next idea may give us help in taming the scents that assault our senses.
Wake up and smell the coffee. Don't get too close. I think Junior needs a change. One of our 5 senses is the ability to detect scents. They can be very enticing or quite repulsive. Today, many environmental researchers are taking a closer look at smells. They're exploring the issue of odors and how these scents affect both indoor and outdoor air quality. Some findings indicate that the traditional response of spraying air fresheners may not be the best. Many chemicals and perfumes that can mask smells may actually make the air quality worse and might someday be banned by environmental regulations.
Researchers at NPI Incorporated focused their attention on creating an environmentally friendly odor remover and developed a product called OdorGone. It's a water-based solution of 37 different essential plant oils, including peppermint, eucalyptus, and lemon.
By applying van der Waals laws of molecular attraction, they devised a formula that can literally tackle horrible smells. Bad odors are actually light, excited, and volatile gas molecules that become airborne when oxygen, water, bacteria, and organic matter decompose. The airborne molecules in this formula physically bond to the light odor molecules and make them heavier so that they drop to a lower atmospheric level. Or more simply put, the smell falls below the range of your nose. At ground level, the odor molecules naturally degrade, decompose, and disappear. Sometimes, the cleanest smell is no smell at all. The antiseptics and scented deodorizers we've learned to recognize as clean scents sometimes use harmful ingredients to maintain that fragrance.
Here at MPI, we wanted to create an earth-friendly product that would eliminate odors and destroy odors naturally, not simply mask them with a stronger scent. Using high-pressure foggers, Odorgon is strong enough to eliminate offensive odors from landfills, factories, and waste treatment plants.
In hospitals, nursing homes, funeral homes, and daycare centers, a large part of improving the air quality lies in controlling the odors. The plant-derived non-toxic formula is biodegradable and can be as gentle on the planet as it is tough on smells. The air we breathe can exhilarate us with beautiful fragrances, but too many times the odors that invade our sense of smell can be offensive and might even make us sick.
If an innovative product can truly destroy a stench without scarring the earth, well, when we do take the time out to smell the roses, the scent we sense will truly be nature's own bouquet.
You might not think of your mailbox as a buzzsaw, but every household in America gets about 1.5 trees of junk mail every year. Tell them to cross your name off those mailing lists and get involved with today's environment today.
A drip can become a disaster, especially if it's a leak in a fuel storage tank. When petroleum hydrocarbons get into our soil, they usually end up polluting our groundwater. But how do you go about cleaning dirt? Here's one new approach.
This is where it starts. This is where it could end up. But now, this is where it stops. If you can't take the heat, get out of the dirt. That's a new message for organic contaminants like petroleum hydrocarbons who have oozed, leached, and seeped their way out of leaky storage tanks and into the soil. One of the most significant causes of contamination. They leave a path of pollution in their wake, and their journey often doesn't end until it fouls our precious supply of drinking water. Over 2 million tanks above and below the ground store gasoline, diesel fuel, and other petroleum-based chemicals all across this nation. Possibly half or more of these leak and contaminate the soil and groundwater around them. But now technology is bringing us new weapons to fight this war against soil contamination that could be considered a national crisis. This mobile plant, operated by Carlo Environmental Technologies, can go straight to the problem site, clean the foul dirt, and return it back to the earth. Until recently, the only fate for this contaminated soil would be incineration and an ungracious burial of its ashes in a landfill. But it's good soil, and cremating it with the pollutants seems to be an incredible waste. In this innovative process, fire still comes into play, but harnessed properly, its heat can volatilize the contaminants and evaporate them from the soil without destroying the good dirt. By literally roasting the soil in this kiln at around 850 degrees Fahrenheit, old diesel fuels, gasoline, and other hydrocarbon contaminants become gaseous and evaporate from the soil. The gases get vacuumed into an air filtration system called a baghouse, where the particulate matter gets separated out and sent back to the kiln for further cleaning. The contaminant gases pass through to a secondary chamber where an intense heat burning at up to 1800 degrees completely oxidizes the vapors. The entire system reduces dangerous amounts of soil pollution down to about the emission level of your family automobile.
The soil remediation plant is a portable plant that can treat the material on site, eliminate the contamination from the soil, and allow its reuse as beneficial fill at the site. So it is truly a recycling process, as well as a good remediation and treatment of the contamination.
The mobility of this plant from Carlo Environmental adds another important health and safety feature. In 2 days, it breaks down to about 5 truckloads of equipment, which can be reassembled somewhere else in 3 days. This means the contaminated soil can remain on site and does not have to be transported through cities along treacherous highways. The war between people and pollution rages on, and the entire planet hangs in the balance. But new technology may help give us the edge and let us humans take back the earth we so foolishly surrendered. New technology that can separate oil from water at the rate of hundreds of gallons a minute, and a look at PVC pipe solutions, next on Today's Environment.
Let's start with a given. No one likes oil spills. But as long as oil is transported over the sea, spills will probably remain an unfortunate fact of life. It's a problem, But as one company has found out, it can also represent an opportunity.
If real life were like the movies, we would simply run this scene in reverse until there were no more fouled waters, oil-soaked beaches, or endangered wildlife. In real life, however, it's not nearly so easy to get the genie back into the bottle. But we are making progress. Spill-fighting equipment is getting more sophisticated all the time. And now, an intriguing answer has been found for one of the most nagging questions of the cleanup process. What do we do with the recovered oil? Believe it or not, we can sell it.
Profits gained by extracting oil from water, it was once seen as an impossibility. But thanks to a new application of an older technology, the only price for recovered oil is contaminant-free water.
These units, manufactured by a California company called Sync, can literally separate oil and water at the rate of hundreds of gallons a minute. The technology was originally developed for use in reprocessing nuclear fuel. But the separators have taken to oil spill duty like a duck to water.
By using these separators, crews can get to an oil spill site quickly, remove 99% of the oil, and sell it to refineries as recovered salvage. The technology improves the basic economics, logistics, and tactics of oil spill response, not to mention the acceleration of response time from days to hours.
Smaller and lighter than many of their counterparts, they can be easily transported by air to a spill site. That's important because the faster crews can respond to an emergency, the more oil they can capture, and the less damage will be done to the environment. But these separators create an additional incentive to act quickly. After treatment, not only is the once contaminated water now 99% oil-free, but the recovered oil is 99% pure. When you consider that refineries accept oil that's 97% pure from wells, it's possible that the oil recovered from a spill could be more pure than when it was in the tanker. That creates a powerful profit motive for oil spill crews. The recovered oil can be sold back to the refineries. The new separator's size, weight, and simplicity are such that a non-professional, such as a local fisherman, can become a major force in cleanup operations. Accidents, unfortunately, will continue to happen, but with developments like the Sync oil water separator and cleanup crews that are speedy enough, skilled enough, and motivated enough, damage to the environment can be minimized, creating a real-life happy ending for everyone concerned.
You never know where it's coming from. That's a good description of what's called non-point source water pollution. Contaminants can come from rainwater washing oil off the streets or chemicals off of lawns or farms. But this next idea may help stop that.
You can't see it, but it's there, hidden under the ground, in every city in America. A subterranean network of cylindrical highways designed specifically for one reason: water management. One pipe brings fresh water in, another takes wastewater out, and still another carries away the runoff from rainstorms. But the miles upon endless miles of pipe buried in the ground can sometimes be the source of groundwater pollution. Iron pipes often rust, corrode, and leak after many years in the earth. Concrete pipes are prone to cracking and don't always seal as well as they should. When they carry waste, the contaminants often leak into our groundwater aquifers. In some cases, groundwater can actually leak into the sewage pipes, and the additional water can overwhelm pollution treatment facilities. One solution may be polyvinyl chloride plastic, otherwise known as PVC pipe. These conduits provide an alternative to the traditional metal and concrete ones. PVC has already proven itself in conveying drinking water under pressure from pumping stations to the home. It is currently used in about 70% of all new water distribution system installations. And since environmentally sensitive city planners and engineers have taken a look at their old sewer pipes, they now rely on PVC pipes to supply over 90% of their new sanitary lines. The key? What goes into PVC pipes comes out on the other end. Watertight gaskets and a resistance to cracking help prevent leakage so no pollutants escape on the way to the treatment facility. The chemical makeup of PVC makes it inert in the ground so that the pipes don't react with either the surrounding dirt or whatever runs through them. This durability advantage provides lower maintenance and longer life service. The high strength, toughness, and flexibility of PVC allows the pipe to bend and not break if the ground shifts or extra weight puts added pressure on it. Further environmental benefit is derived from the clean, energy-efficient extrusion methods used in manufacturing PVC pipe. Fossil fuel conservation also occurs when the pipes are transported due to their lighter weight versus other piping materials. And PVC pipe for some applications can actually be made from recycled vinyl waste products. Even though these pipes are engineered to last for 100 years or more, they too can be recycled rather than disposed of. Allowing captured wastewater to slip out of our pipes and pollute our precious freshwater supply seems counterproductive, to say the least. But if this emerging generation of PVC enables us to convey our wastewaters and storm runoff from here to there without leaving a trail of pollution along the way, we may be able to improve our water and sewer systems so that they don't carry our environment down the drain.
Do you feel the power? You should. Americans have been so successful at conserving electricity and switching to energy-efficient appliances that the Electric Power Research Institute estimates that we can cut our total demand for electricity by 22 to 44% by the year 2000. Now that's real impact. I hope you found the ideas featured on this show to be fascinating and inspiring. Join us again next time as we explore more environmental solutions on today's environment.
If you know of any interesting environmental success stories, call us at 407-997-9800. The preceding program was sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA.